In the name of Allah, the most loving and caring. Assalamu alaikum 8th class. Welcome to online class again. Hope you all will be fine. This is our lecture number 10 of English. And the topics we shall discuss in this lecture are from English A, we shall do chapter number 4 and exhibition, and we shall do exercise A, exercise B, and exercise C. Then after it from English B we shall do use of is, am, are, was and were, and we shall do its introduction. First of all we shall do chapter number 4 an exhibition exercise A. And the exercise A is answer these questions. Question number 1 is where did Mr. Kazi take his class for a trip? This question is in past form. Here is did in this question. So we have to write the answer also in past form. So the answer will be he took his class to an exhibition. We have to write the second form of verb of take, that will be took. Now question number 2. What did Mr. Kazi ask Akbar? This question is also in past form. So we have to write answer also in past form, and answer will be Mr. Kazi asked Akbar what he had liked best in the exhibition. Question number 3. What did Akbar like best in the exhibition? And the answer will be he liked paintings the best in the exhibition. Question number 4. What did Rizwan like best in the exhibition and why? Now we have to tell the reason also. The answer will be Rizwan liked rocks the best because it was his hobby to collect rocks. Question number 5 is what is Sadiq's hobby? And the answer will be Sadiq's hobby is to collect pictures of great leaders. Question number 6 is what is your hobby? Now you have to tell your hobby. The answer will be my hobby is painting. You can write whatever you want to write. Question number 7 is why exhibitions are important? Answer will be exhibitions are important to boost the natural talent of people. Boost mean to improve or increase something. So exhibitions are important to improve or increase the natural talent of people. Now we shall do exercise B. Now exercise B is related to use of for and since. Now first of all we shall discuss where we have to use for and where we have to use since. For, it is used to express a quantity of time or the duration of something. So for is used where we have to show quantity of time or duration of doing something. For example, I have been living here for 8 months. In this example, 8 months are mentioned, so it is duration, so we use for with it. I am going to stay here for 2 years. Duration is mentioned 2 years, so we have to use for with it. Now, since it is used to express when something started relates to a specific time in the past. It shows when something started. The starting point is mentioned. There will be specific time mentioned in the past. For example, I have been living here since October. October is mentioned, the starting time is mentioned, the exact point is mentioned, so we have to use since here. We haven't seen each other since last year. Exact time is mentioned, last year starting point is mentioned, so we have to use since with it. We use for with a period of time. For example, 5 minutes, 2 weeks, 3 days, 6 months, 6 years, 2 centuries, a long time, ever, etc. And since we use with a point in past time. For example, 9 o'clock, 1st January, Monday, December 1994, 1800, I left school, the beginning of time, and etc. Now here is exercise B, present perfect continuous. This tense is used to talk about an action or actions that started in the past and continued until recently or that continued into the future. It means that This exercise is related to present perfect continuous tense in which action is done in the past and continued in the present and then continued in the future. For example, he has been working as a reporter with his newspaper for 5 years. In this sentence, duration is mentioned that 5 years the reporter has worked, so we have to use for here. Now use since or for to complete these sentences. Number 1 is my mother has been sewing clothes since 8 o'clock in the morning. Starting time is mentioned, that is 8 o'clock, so we have to use since here. Noshin has been going to this school dash 4 years. Duration is mentioned, so we have to use for here. My friend has been reading dash 3 hours. Duration is mentioned 3 hours, so we have to use for here. I have been sitting at this table dash early morning. Starting point is mentioned early morning, so we have to use since here. My father has been telling stories dash the last 2 hours. The duration is mentioned, 2 hours are mentioned, so we have to use for here. She has been doing her homework dash 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Exact time is mentioned, so we have to use since here. Now we shall do chapter number 4, an exhibition, exercise C. This is exercise C. Fill in each blank with the opposite of the word underlined. Now few words are underlined and we have to give their opposite. It means we have to give their antonyms. For example, we are going to paint the front and the dash of our house. The opposite of front is back, so we have to write back in the blank. So the sentence will be, we are going to paint the front and the back of our house. The first sentence is, he was dash when his cousin came but sorry when he left. The opposite of sorry is happy, so we have to write happy in the blank. One thing keep in mind that you have to write the opposite according to the sentence. The second sentence is, father will sell his old car and dash a new one. The opposite of sell is buy, so we have to write buy in the blank. The third sentence is, he tied the dash length of the cord to the long one. The opposite of long is short, so we have to write short in the blank. The sentence will be, he tied the short length of the cord to the long one. The fourth sentence is, the girls were quiet in the school but very dash outside. The opposite of quiet is noisy, so we have to write noisy in the blank. The fifth sentence is, 5 years ago he was dash, now he is very rich. The opposite of rich is poor, so we have to write poor in the blank. 5 years ago he was poor, now he is very rich. The sixth sentence is, my watch was 5 minutes fast yesterday but it is dash today. The opposite of fast is slow, so we have to write slow in the blank. My watch was 5 minutes fast yesterday but it is slow today. The last sentence is, if you dash your toy, nobody will be able to mend it. The opposite of mend is break, so we have to write break in the blank. If you break your toy, nobody will be able to mend it. Now we shall start use of is, am, are, was, were, its introduction. Now we shall discuss use of is, am, are, was, were in simple sentences. In simple sentences, the translation of hai, who is, am, are. When in the Urdu sentence, the ending word will be hai, who, then we have to write is, am, are as helping verb. We use is with he, she, it and singular. We use am with I and we use are with they, we, you and plural. And in simple sentences, the translation of tha, thi, the is was, were. When the sentence is in past form and when in Urdu sentences, the ending word will be tha, thi, the, then we have to use was, were as helping verb. We use was with he, she, it, I and singular, and we use were with we, they, you and plural. Now we will discuss negative sentences. In negative sentences, we have to use not after is, am, are, was, were. It means that we have to use not after the helping verb is, am, are, was, were. For example, these children were not dirty. Were here is helping verb, so we have to use not after were. These children were not dirty. He was not satisfied. Was here is helping verb, so we shall write was not. Then this is not a costly watch is helping verb, so we have to use not after helping verb. Interrogative sentences. In interrogative sentences, we have to use is, am, are, was, were at the start of the sentence, and at the end we put question mark. For example, is the water cold? Is helping verb, so we have to use it at the start of the sentence, and at the end question mark. Was this book interesting? Was we have to use at the start, and at the end question mark. Interrogative plus negative sentences. In interrogative plus negative sentences, we use is, am, are, was and were at the start of the sentence and not after the subject. And at the end, we put question mark. So first of all, we shall write the in helping verb, that will be is, am, are, was and were. Then after that, we shall write subject, then not. Then at the end of the sentence, we shall put question mark. For example, was Hamid not intelligent? First of all, there is helping verb, then subject Hamid, then not, then at the end there will be question mark. Am I not faithful? Question mark. Double interrogative sentences. In double interrogative sentences, we use how, who, which, when, whose, where, why and whom at the start of the sentence, and then is, am, are, was and were, and at the end we put question mark. How, who, which, when, whose, where, why and whom are the W family. You can also say that these are the interrogative pronouns. So we shall write interrogative pronouns at the start of the sentence. Then we shall write helping verb, that is, am, are, was and were. Then at the end of the sentence we will put question mark. For example, who was in the garden? Who is interrogative pronoun here, was is helping verb. Then at the end there will be question mark. Second point, why are you sad? Why interrogative pronoun, are helping verb, then at the end question mark. Now, double interrogative negative sentences. In double interrogative negative sentences, we use how, who, which, when, whose, where, why and whom at the start of the sentence. Then is, am, are, was, were, and we use not after the subject. And at the end we put question mark. It means that at the start of the sentence, first of all, we shall write interrogative pronouns. Then after it, we shall write helping verb is, am, are, was, were. We have to select it according to the tense. Then after it, we shall write subject, then not. Then at the end of the sentence, we shall put question mark. For example, why was flour not red? Why is interrogative pronoun. Then after it, there will be helping verb, that is was, then subject flour, then not, then red, question mark. Why, when were they not busy? Question mark. This is your home task. Now I am signing out. I hope that you have understood all the topics we have discussed in this lecture. Take care of yourself and your family. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.